It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the NFC West. It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession.
They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
First run now for Kyron Williams.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 4.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there.
But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down. That's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. And they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 32 on the play.
And this offense has come out swinging here in the early going. They pick up a nice chunk on that pitch and catch. And the 2 of them have this offense moving in the right direction to start this game.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came up with a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Stafford. His throw incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a play fake it at Stafford.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And that's an knowledge he gained from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
So on fourth down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. Back deep is Jalen Darden. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10
at their own 16.
First carry here for Kenneth Walker III.
He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Play action. It's Smith. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Off of play action, here's Smith. Sliding out of the pocket. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Bobby Brown able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jet.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Jackson Smith-Njigba.
36 yards.
And the Seahawks are on the board first here this afternoon. But Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was capped off by a Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown catch.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They begin the drive with Williams.
And he'll get this to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Throwing is Stafford. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Ernest Jones.
The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack, and they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Ernest Jones.
And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
From the gun, here's Smith. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
No receivers open, so who's forced to put that one into Puget Sound? That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers. And ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now Geno. This is caught, and they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They'll fake it. Now Smith. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Zach Charbonnet from a yard out. And the Seahawks go up by 2 touchdowns. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Well, now how about this return? And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
To throw is Stafford. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Throwing again is Stafford. Finding Williams once more, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From the gun, here's Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Stafford.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission.
A shotgun snap for Smith.
He'll find Metcalf.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Smith.
Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Throwing is Smith.
And complete to Smith and Jigba.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Here's Smith.
A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing again is Smith.
He's got his target. That's complete.
Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Out of the gun, Smith.
Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3.
So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. (17-3) the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches.
Play action. It's Smith. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up third down.
You've been around me a long time now. You know on 2nd and inches, I love it when teams are aggressive and take a shot, but we just saw the downside to being that aggressive, didn't we?
Now you've given up on a pretty likely first down if they had run the football, and they need to come up with something here on third.
Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
It's caught. Lockett. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Now to the ground. Here's Walker.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd and 9. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And room there to work it inside the 25. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now Smith. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete.
And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Walker fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Again, Walker.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Kenneth Walker
taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it.
And it looks like the defense has got it.
And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Out of the gun, Walker with it.
Fights him off. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Seahawks up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot on the depth chart points before this game is over.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. L.A. readies for its next possession.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Back to throw, Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Out of the gun, Stafford.
He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Stafford looks to throw again. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Derek Hall in there that time to get him to the turf.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Devin Witherspoon getting a hand in there that time.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. That's to his running back, complete. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a 1st down. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
The Seahawks offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he'll go down at the 28.
72 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
2 yards, good enough for a 1st. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
And Walker once more.
Gets through, and now an opening. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk 1st.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
A give for Walker running right.
And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here's 3rd and 6. Straight ahead, Walker.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 6-play drive.
And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Well, this was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute, both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.